Hello, guys and gals. It's me, Mike, and I'm here with the
I'm
Guardians
Bright.
of the Wills and my buddy.
Jonathan's still lost. We'll have him back shortly. The Force wills it.
And today we're going to review another issue for your enjoyment
Yes,
of
the
the High
Marvel High
Republic.
Republic number 4, written by
And
the ever dangerous Kevin Scott.
so this is the number 4, Balance of the Force, Chapter 4, The Herald of the Open Hand. Now, of course, we know him if we've been reading the books. We know who the Herald is, and
Yes.
he's like second in command to the Mother.
Yep.
And right behind him, we see Marta Rowe's cousin, Yana Rowe, who is the one she's one of the children.
Yes.
Who goes out to steal all these Force items and kill, which Marta Rowe has no idea they do that.
Right.
So, Balance of the Force. Violence comes to Jeddah. The Temple of the Wills has been attacked. Vildar Mac critically injured in the blast. Is Taserek to blame? The Herald of the Open Hand has arrived to address the convocation, but just what is the nameless horror that lurks in the streets of the Holy City? The Battle of Jeddah begins here. This issue is phenomenal.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah, pretty intense.
It's really intense. I mean, probably, from, kind of like politics standpoint, it's, there's definitely a lot of political discussion within the Star Wars universe in this issue, but it's extremely powerful, and the ending is I didn't see coming.
Me neither. I loved it. So let's start with the covers. This is the main cover, and we see the Herald on the cover and Yana Rowe behind him, and they're speaking to a crowd, which we figure this is Jeddah. I like the red.
Yeah, the red's very cool, but I'm definitely hoping like this particular thing makes it in like a volume 2 of the Art of the High Republic.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah.
Then we have quite a few alternate covers. We've got this one here.
That's cool, unique cover for sure. As we see our 3 main, Tay and Vildar and Maddie.
Mm-hmm. So nice. It's very colorful. I like it. It's very 80s.
Yeah. Yes.
Then we have this cover. I think this is the one you have, right?
Yeah, this is the one that I have.
Nice. So go ahead and tell us what you like about this cover.
It's very, very simple cover, but it's just, it's Maddie leaping into action, lightsaber in hand and
her Leiku flying. Mm-hmm.
Yep, ready to defend. But yeah, it's really cool. Simple. It's it's a very simple cover. I was very happy to see it in my inbox at the comic book shop this morning when I went.
I like that it's so clean. It's just crisp, clean. It's nice, sharp. I like it.
All focused on Maddie. The whole cover is Maddie.
And then, this is the Tund, right?
The Tund Sorcerer. Yep.
Yeah, Tund Sorcerer.
Yep.
He's looking all powerful here. I like this angle. The angle from the bottom up always makes him look powerful.
Very, very cool cover.
And then here's the Virgin. Same cover without the lettering, just so you can enjoy the artwork.
Yep.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Yeah. So I think my favorite cover is the main one, which usually for me is not the case. Usually it's one of the variant covers is my favorite, but I actually just really like this art style. I like a lot in the fact that the Herald is reaching out. He's definitely it's a big guy. Like we kind of find out in scale, he's actually a pretty big dude, and is a little bit more like no holds barred kind of guy, like more action oriented but speaks very well.
I like it too because you can see his hand, you see his fingers. They've got that blue. They get that blue dust that they smear the lines across his face, so his His fingertips are tinted with that dye, and then he's really powerful. Look at how he holds himself. He's strong. He's a big muscular guy. So this is my favorite cover too. I love it. Looks really good. And of course, I love these characters because they're from Path of Deceit. And so to see them actually, because in Path of Deceit, he was kind of subdued, didn't have much of a role in that book.
Yeah, I'm not quite finished with that book. Shame on me, but I am far enough where he's been introduced, which is like, that's about almost halfway through the book. Is when he kind of comes into play,
right?
A little bit, which is like, I don't remember chapter. It's definitely after chapter 10. I want to say somewhere between 10 and 13 is when he comes in, and
his daughter is Yana Rose's girlfriend, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And have you got to that part yet? Spoiler alert, or not yet?
Nope. They've already, like I said, in the part of the book where I'm at, they've already gone out on to an adventure. And so and then when they come back from the adventure, that's when the Herald enters the thing. So you kind of already know.
Oh, right.
Yeah, at that point.
All right, cool. So let's get into this issue. So I'm going to leave the League of Comic Geeks page and head over to my Comixology page. Do you see this? Do I have to reshare?
Yeah,
can you see it?
Yeah. Good.
Cool. So here's the main cover, and then timeline, and then we have the intro, the High Republic, Balance of the Force, Chapter 4, the Herald of the Open Hand. Tensions are rising as Jedha's Festival of Balance approaches. The Convocation of the Force hopes the festivities will bring the various churches and religions of the Holy City together, but mistrust and hostility run wild. Jedi Bildar Mac and Maddie Cathley were caught sneaking into the Temple of the Kyber with disgraced former Guardian of the Wills, Tay Sarek. Sarek was expelled, leaving Bildar and Maddie to investigate the alleged robbery of a Kyber statue from the temple's corridors. But you can't keep a good Seppi down. Tay snuck back into the temple with his faithful droid, SKOT, only to discover a bomb planted outside Archivist Zumig's office, a bomb that seconds later tore a hole in the temple's wall.
Yeah, we're picking up like not too much after the bomb went off. We see Bildar here kind of wake up on the medical table, like, whoa, what's going on?
So this panel here, I have to admit, is breathtaking for me. It's just fantastic. I love it. Bildar Mac is like my favorite High Republic Jedi now. He's just so beefy and so big and strong, and I love it. And here I got to see all of him, and this just blew me away. I love this. And she's trying to heal him with her plant, so she's kind of like poison ivy, right? She
but
can control plants.
It's all with the Force,
right? Through the Force, Yep. But it's a different type of Force than what Jedi are used to.
Correct. Yep. She belongs to a different kind of faction that is uses a Force in a different way. I think they refer to something about the garden.
Mm-hmm. And so then Bildar Mac wants to get up and help out, but he's like, wait a minute, we've got to go check on Archivist Zumig. And Maddie's like, oh, wait, no, bad news. He's like, what? And he can't believe it, but oops. That's when he finds out that even though he tried to save everybody, he wasn't successful.
Yep.
And I think Archivist is dead, right?
Yeah. Zumig, yeah, the one that's in the photo here in the lower left. He didn't die immediately. I feel like he died later.
Yeah, because she said that the only reason he did survive was because Bildar Mac used the Force to protect them. But then it seems like he is dead, so he died shortly after.
Yeah. And
so Bildar Mac's really upset. He grabs Tay Sarek's droid and says, "You have to have recorded everything."
Right. And we find out that conveniently he's damaged. I mean, well,
in the blast, he broke his little
holocam. Yeah, the memory cores, I think, were damaged, and his holocam was cracked. So.
And then we swipe over to Tay Sarek, who's being incarcerated by the Guardians of the Wills. And, there's some bad blood between Tay and what's the guy's name? This
There's bad blood between him and Captain Vis, but neither one of these are Captain Vis. These are just other
Guardians.
Yeah.
So he's like communicating, and they're like, "Who are you talking to?" And it turns out he has this little secret bug in his ear because I guess he bugged Maddie or Vildar because he's listening
Vildar.
in. Vildar.
Yeah, he somehow tapped Vildar.
Or he's listening to through his droid.
Oh,
his droid is over there. Yeah, it could be his droid.
His droid could be recording. Yeah, That's true. That's probably what it is.
And then, of course, we know that Taserek was not the perpetrator of this attack, but nobody else does.
Yep.
So I'm really liking Taserek. I'm liking the three main characters a lot.
Yeah.
So here's the convocation of the Force, and we have all these different Force factions sitting together to discuss what they're going to do. And the Jedi are just participants. They can't really do anything because they're not the owners of Jedha.
Yes, they have to be asked in order to do anything. So they just kind of stand and observe, and unless asked upon, they are not allowed to interfere. Right.
And then we see here Tarnia Miak, Sorcerer of Tund, who is speaking.
And then you've got Killen Tadara there with the blue.
Oh, yes. She's like the leader, right? So she's sitting with her back to us in this panel.
Yeah,
we see her face.
She's the head of the convocation.
Mm-hmm. And then who is this? Olivia Zevron? I think she's the Jedi representative on the convocation table, right?
One of them. I actually think it's why am I drawing a blank on
the cat one.
Yeah, I'm drawing the blank there.
Who's Liban, Master Liban.
Yeah, Liban.
And Master Liban is Maddie's master, right?
Correct. Yeah.
And Olivia's another one on the convocation table.
Yeah, Jedi. I believe she might just be a Jedi Knight.
So then we have the arrival of characters that I was happy to see because they're from Path of Deceit. We've got Sunshine Dobbs right there, who brought the Herald in with Yana Rowe.
Yep. And Sunshine Dobbs.
Yep. Sneaky devil. Can't stand him. He's so bad, but he's so good.
I'm sort of saying he's such a.
He's so sleazy.
He looks out for himself, but he's hard to hate because he's just a very unique character and well drawn. Like the guy just looks like a galaxy bum, but he's a lot smarter than that.
Oh yeah, he's like a sleazy Han Solo. That's how I take it. And so they come in and they start talking about how they want to join in the convocation, because the Herald, of course, is speaking. He also believes in the Force. And so they're like, okay, welcome. And he starts telling them that they have to stop using the Force. And like, that's preposterous. What are you talking about? And then the leader, what's her name? You just mentioned her.
Golly.
It's all these new names. It's Killen Tadara. So Killen Tadara is like, let him speak. We all have the equal say here. And the Herald is like, nope, the sanctity of the Force. We believe in that in the path of the open hand. And you have to not abuse it, not use it, because it has effects otherwise. He's like, the ones who abuse it are the Jedi.
Galaxy-wide consequences.
Right. Now, Vildar's not liking any of this. And we have Warren Vell, the Marukai, who looks like Plo Koon. So I think now we know that Plo Koon is a Marukai.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, yes, you channel it, but only for the good, for the natural world. And he's like, nope, we're not having it. You can't use it at all.
Right.
And so none of them are really agreeing with the Herald.
No.
And so they're all like, you need to get out of here. Oh, and meanwhile, he has overheard that the blast, we didn't mention this, but they have decided they're going to tell the public on Jeddah that it was a gas buildup was the cause of the explosion.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they don't want to cause any worries among the people, so they're not going to tell them the truth. And the Herald has overheard this, so
out on it.
Yeah. So he goes outside and he's going to use this against them. So once he's not accepted, he's like, all right, forget this. Let's get out of here. We'll do it our way. Because he, of course, never wanted to join gently and easily.
We know that they planted the bomb anyway.
Right. And they have ulterior motives.
Yeah.
So then he goes out and he starts blasting, puts them on blast and says, hey, how do you trust them? They were going to lie to you. And then meanwhile, we see Yanaro brings out the Rod of Seasons and she's activating it, which of course summons the leveler. So while the Herald is rallying up the crowd and getting them to not trust all the Force users, then the convocation comes out to address it, like you need to glow and
and they request the Guardians to arrest him, and that's where you kind of see the size of.
Yeah, he's big.
He's a very big dude, and we're used to when we obviously see Kit Fisto in Clone Wars and Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. He's about the size of everybody else. Like the Herald here is a giant dude.
He's about as big. Do you think he's bigger than Vildar Mac?
Yeah, I do. Look how big he is against those Guardians.
That's true. True. Oh yes, because you're right. Because even the Ton Sorcerer looks big, and then next to him, not as big.
That's what I say. Like he's a massive man. He, like I said, he obviously does a really good job at delivering speeches and persuading people to do. But man, he's also a guy that
he's physically imposing as well.
Yeah.
And so, as all this is going on, Vildar's like, we should do something, and Olivia's like, we can't really do anything until we're asked.
Right.
But then we see that the Herald is throwing all these Guardians of the Wills just off his back, like, no problem. Look at that.
And boom, lightsabers.
Single-handedly. So they blast their lightsabers on. And then here in the shadows, we see the leveler approaching.
Yeah, this is where I was like, it took me a second to realize, going back to the rod, I'm like, what is she doing? And then, I get to this page of the comic. I was like, oh man, here we go.
You haven't finished Path of Deceit, right?
No.
That's why you didn't know. So I had finished it, so I knew that she. So in Path of Deceit,
but the rod's also. The rod is also in. Markion has the rod at some point.
Yes, because he's Yanaro and Mardaro are his ancestors, so he's a descendant.
Right, but he has the rod. I think that's one of the things that he goes and searches for is the rod, so he can control the Nameless and the
leveler. Right. So, but at the end of Path of Deceit is how we find out how Yanaro gets the rod, and then how she's able to control the leveler. So if you've read the Path of Deceit, you know that rod is key to controlling the leveler or the Nameless.
Yeah, but we knew that even in phase one, though.
That's true. We did. That just makes it more clear. And the mother doesn't know. The mother thinks that that the Nameless is responding to Yanaro. And Yana doesn't tell the mother because she's fallen out of sorts with the mother and she wants to get away. And she realizes that the mother is not someone to be trusted. Right. And so she calls in the Nameless, and the Nameless to me are like xenomorphs. That's how I imagine them. They're terrifying and
feed on the Force.
They feed on the Force. And so here, as a Sorcerer of Tund is starting to use the Force to help calm the crowd. Yeah. Then the Sorcerer of Tund is all of a sudden
turns around. It comes face to face, with the creature.
The leveler. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we see the effects because it's a psychological attack that the leveler has on Force sensitives.
Yeah.
And he sees everyone turns into monsters. And
Yeah,
then
because we
he
even see
just,
Vildar go flying here too, like
yeah,
lightsaber out of his hand, and he's like gone.
it's like a big force boom.
Mm,
And they're all out. And we have to wait until the next episode
yeah.
to find out what happens.
This cover looks really cool because now we've got Maddie and Vildar going up against the Sorcerer of Tund.
Tund, yes. And the Sorcerer of Tund is under the influence of the Leveler, which is the sad thing, because the Sorcerer is not bad. It's just that the Leveler takes them a lot of context.
Yeah,
and
very cool.
We know that the ultimate effect of the Levelers is they turn into ash, into dust. So let's see what happens. But I'm surprised. I'm wondering why Vildar and Maddie are not affected, and the other Force users are not affected by the Leveler yet.
Hard to say. I know it's a proximity thing.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hard to say. Hard to say because we know once they get it within a certain
range.
Yeah, they don't even have to see it to be affected.
It can be in a box, right?
In a box or in a cage, and you just have to be within a certain distance.
Yeah. So overall, I really enjoyed this issue. I thought it was explosive. I did a nice long review in League of Comic Geeks on this issue. So very excited. I give it a 5 out of 5 holocrons.
I would too. This definitely was the issue that really, I think, projects what we're going to see, over probably the next couple issues. My guess would be that, story arc will probably end with number 6 before we go into a different phase. I know come up in April we start getting the second wave of phase 2, to progress the story. So I'd imagine over the next couple issues we'll probably get this story arc finished, but it's definitely intense, really cool. Kevin has a way of, I thought it was an extremely well written comic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kevin's comics, I love his comics. He's really good.
Yeah.
And here behind me, you see the Mother and Marta Rowe off my shoulder, which is the cousin to Yana Rowe. So Marta Rowe is not a child of the Hand, but her cousin Yana is. And the children of the Hand are the ones that go do all the dirty work, which Yana has no idea.
Jedi is that what's the name of the Jedi that's behind you?
He's a Jedi. He's I keep forgetting.
Padawan, right?
Yeah, he's a Padawan. What is it? Kislar, or I can't remember, but he's I know that Marta and he had some attractions, yeah. So definitely. And he caused her to question a lot of her ideas about the Hand, about the path of the open hand. And also she affected him as well. He started thinking about, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't be trying to control the Force all the time.
Right.
So they both affected each other.
Yeah, because he and his master had landed on Dalna, on the outskirts of where the open hand camps and has their base of operations and everything like that. And I know
because they're looking for the Rod of Seasons.
Yeah, and they already met with Mother.
Yeah. But they're at Dalna in search of the Rod of Seasons, which had just been stolen from Jeddah, which the Mother had got from Sunshine Dobbs, right?
I do believe so, yes. Yep.
All right, so hope you enjoyed this episode, and we really enjoyed this comic. As you heard, we both gave it 5 out of 5 holocrons.
Oh yeah.
Please be sure to follow us, like and follow, and
check us out on Instagram. Twitter. Definitely check out our other videos that are archived on our YouTube channel, the Virtual Cantina Network, over there on YouTube. We also have our other shows, Rebels Revisited, Unifying Force. We've got unboxings. We've got our watch-alongs, which we've had some fantastic guests.
Special guests, yes.
Including Brendan Wayne just a couple weeks ago, which was fantastic to have him. And we got many more coming on our Thursday Night Watch-Along series as well. Thank you to our pages, Star Wars Book Nerds, Star Wars Comic Book Club, and obviously Star Wars Celebration Europe 2023. So thank you.
Until next time, may the Force be with you.
The Force be with you.